behind the scenes at the Topicless podcast. So if you talked in like this would be. Hey, I'm talking here, testing out the audio. Testing out the audio here. Oh wow, that's hot.
Like a country singer.
Oh, here we are live again on the Notopicless podcast. No topic, no topicless, whatever ridiculous name of podcast that I have here. We were in a rush today. I was jamming a steak sandwich down my mouth. I still have fried bits in my teeth, and as you can see, we didn't configure the camera angle perfect, so it's a little. I'm a little heady. No, it's all right. Just leave it. It's just it is what it is. We are having a bit of a rush day today. We were doing all the recordings VR. We were doing a bunch of stuff. Brandon was helping me out. Did you have fun when you were doing that, Brando?
Yeah, I mean, honestly, like that's one of the best part about a lot of the work that we do is it's like feel good work, right? You get to go to work and then listen to stories and yeah, it's educational.
It's definitely educational, and we got someone who educates people. He's educational, as it were. As we have in the studio, a friend of mine. He's been involved in different sectors. He was involved in helping Two Spirit Voices through forums and through radio show he had. I think you're taking a break for family reasons now, but you're working with your community, which I love. I love that you work with your community. And so introduce yourself and tell us what you've been up to. I haven't seen you in a minute.
Oh, hi, bonjour. Nin Leslie Nindishnikas, Webquare Nindonji. My name is Leslie Spence, and I'm from Webquare First Nation, and
Sorry.
yeah.
Oh yeah, Brandon, are you? He's right in the middle of a. You might have to turn the mic a little bit up.
Turn the mic
Yeah,
up.
turn. We want that. We want that great podcast sound for Leslie.
Oh, nice.
There we go.
We want
Yeah,
that good sound.
that good. It's all about the sound.
Yeah.
So yeah. Start. Tell us again.
If I didn't know you that well, then I would have been a little more. I would have been a little more patient as I adjusted the mic.
But anyways,
Yep.
how are you guys?
Pretty good. I was a little tired. I was getting flushed during the week. It's weird. I don't know if there's a cold going around. I tested for COVID last night, which is weird. Haven't tested in a while. No COVID. COVID free. I think I've had COVID 3 times since, and then I got 3 shots, so I think I'm kind of immune to it. But might have been a cold, might have been a flu. You've been feeling any of the weather lately? Have you?
Yeah, I've been feeling a little weather lately too. I had a little scare a couple days ago,
Oh, what
but
happened?
it wasn't COVID. It's just a little sore throat, but it went away.
Okay.
Yeah, so weird, eh?
it's
weird times.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You never know.
it has been weird. I keep on bringing up to people. We had like this lockdown, and we've just kind of all sloughed it off, and no one's dealt with the consequences that like we were all, well, not necessarily you, but me. I was sitting in a basement playing a lot of video games and drinking a whole lot. Like I was like drinking Long Island iced tea bottles and the only thing that society left open was like booze stores
And Walmarts.
fast food, but then they shut down like being able to buy stuff in Walmart, so yeah, you could only like basic groceries, so it was like, but they were
It really felt like a club going to Walmart.
it did, yeah, it was like your date night.
Line, yeah.
And then so I'd go get my box of booze and I get fast food, and then I'd crash out, and then it'd be to Monday, you know what I mean? Or it'd be Tuesday, it'd be like what the hell happened?
The time would fly so fast, and then like, yeah, I totally know what you mean. COVID was such a weird time, for real.
Yeah. And no one's talking about it. It's just like, and I was saying the only people talking about it are like conspiracy people, because they're like, they've been talking about it the whole time, and they've just continued talking about it. But everyone else who's like normal is kind of like we're just like, we don't even bring it up. We don't bring up the boozing. Yeah. Like I used to sneak out to my buddy's house and go have drinks and stuff and play pool. And it was like, you'd come back under cover of darkness. Like police would be slowly rolling by. And I'm like, what the hell is going on? Like, am I nervous right now? Like, are we locked up? Like,
are we in trouble?
It was so weird. And we've just kind of, and then I know your community had Worbelcoy lockdowns and scares too, and
we had scares. Instead, they're still scared, to have these outbreaks too.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Mini outbreaks we would have a little lockdown for a few days or a few weeks.
What do you do on the res during a lockdown?
During those lockdowns?
Yeah.
We would to stay home and follow the whatever rules they implemented.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Did you do like illegal bingos or like?
I don't think so.
No,
none any.
Nothing. You didn't have no bingos or nothing.
No.
Oh, okay.
Probably those illegal Facebook bingos. Throwing it out there.
He's like, I've never heard of those things. I don't know what you're talking about. We had, this is the weirdest thing. So he doesn't know what I'm talking about. But we had illegal bingos from 1850 territory. I'm sorry to rat you all out, but you were, and it was only reason I'm going to rat you all out is because they were kind of like poorly run. Some of them, like some of them were really cool. Like people got little balls, but I mean, some of them like made their own balls. It was like really cheap. I'm like, geez, this is a cheap bingo, man. Like this. Oh, he's listening. You checking out the podcast now?
I was just opening it up yet.
Okay, Brando.
Just to keep us tapped in on comments.
Brando, quality control for the comments. If we got comments, we'll bring them up on air. You can ask these questions. We'll try to interact with you the best we can, because we're just so slammed here right now. So what else is going on, Les?
I don't know. It's just been going with the flow with life. Life happens. It's going with the flow and trying to live life.
Oh yeah, okay. Are you getting out a little bit more? Are you still doing the groups and talking with people for helping communities in various ways? Or
we try to help out my community anyways. Trying to do these work like assessment work, health impact assessment work.
Okay.
And these road studies to inform the community and stuff like that. Yeah.
And that's one of the things that Brandon and I have worked on for a few years. And we don't usually get into the background corporate stuff that we do, but we work with First Nation communities on helping to get that information out to the communities. We work on videos. We work on streaming. We do all kinds of stuff like that to help educate natives on being able to make decisions for their future. In this case, there's a road assessment going on. Very controversial. To me, it's not really controversial, but I guess it is in certain quarters. So I just go in and do my job because I'm a Native man working with Native people. So there's this. I find deep pride in that work. Like I'm helping with your community. We've been hired by the community, so it's really cool. Like you were saying, it was like feel good work.
Yeah,
I wouldn't describe it as feel good work because that just sounds kind of creepy. But
What do you mean by creepy?
yeah, you know what I mean. Like, oh, we got the First Nations, and it feels good work. It's like whoa, Brandon. But we do all kinds of engagement stuff, and so yeah, I guess we're working with you now. And,
Yeah.
And are you working directly with the community, or you're working with us with ICE, or is it with, because you're not working for the media?
Well, I don't work for that media, but I work for ICE and
ICE in the community.
and the community.
Okay.
And I work for the community. You know. I'm sorry, I'm just tired.
Oh, no problem.
long day.
No, it's been a long day, and that's why I wanted Leslie on, because I want it to be the one who looks good. So I was like, I'm gonna get him on. I know he's gonna be burnt out. You had to go pick your kid up. So tell me, Brandon, what have you been up to lately? We haven't done podcasts in a little while, so
Yeah, so I wasn't able to do the podcast last week because I had to go do a trip down to Dryden.
that's right.
How was it?
Well, okay, so we went down there because our guinea pig got sick, and unfortunately, our guinea pig actually passed away yesterday. We actually so we were trying to like feed him and stuff like that, like this Pedialyte stuff. I mean, it's like Pedialyte for guinea pigs.
Guinea pigs,
yeah.
Guinea light.
Yeah, guinea light,
Nice.
yeah. And so yeah, we were like trying to it was like really. It didn't taste good, I guess. I say that
Did
because
you taste it?
No, I say that
Okay,
because
you say that with
But
confidence.
did you want to try it and taste it for yourself?
I mean, I smelt it.
Oh, yeah. It's like cat food.
You gotta smell it. You know what I mean?
Like,
Make
you smell
sure
cat food, and you're like, "Oh man,
Yeah.
what's my cat eating?"
And
But
then
then the cat's slurping it up.
loving
And
it.
They just love
Yeah.
They just gobble it up.
Okay, so
And so yeah, no, we were basically trying to give him the solution and stuff like that, but he wasn't eating enough of it, and it got to a point where he was actively it was like we'd be trying to feed him, and we were supposed to feed him like a full syringe, and he was only eating about
eating
a
a
quarter
little
of
bit.
it. So it was like it got to a point where I was like, okay, we should definitely reach out to the vet to see what's going on here, because it's like if he's not eating enough of his solution and stuff like that, he's probably not getting the nutrients to actually get better and stuff. And maybe basically it got to a point where I was like, there's got to be a solution. Like, do we put vegetables in there? Do we put you know what I mean, different things? So I started to basically cut up some peppers, and I started to give him lettuce and stuff like that. The lettuce was helping, and he was liking the lettuce and stuff like that, but it was just that he just wasn't eating enough, and then I guess he just didn't regain his strength, and he ended up passing, unfortunately. So rest in peace to Chocolate.
Yeah, rest in peace, Chocolate.
And we have 3 currently, and then yesterday we were trying to we're trying to introduce them to each other because they're social animals. So it's so we have this one guinea pig named Jimothy, and we were trying to introduce it to Peanut, who was yeah, I know. So the names of them all were Chocolate and Peanut were in the one cage, and then there's Jimothy and Jonald in the other
Where did
cage.
Jimothy came from? The name?
Jimothy?
Yeah.
My girlfriend got it a while ago, actually. But I think from PetSmart. So
if I can just cut in here, when I didn't know he had pigs, so and so no, this is, I know it's sorry about the death of one of the guinea pigs, but before I knew about the guinea pigs being sick, he got a hold of me, and he was like, I can't make it to work, and I'm like, oh shit. And he's like, yeah, I gotta go to Dryden.
yeah, I gotta go.
So you gotta go to Dryden. I'm like, and so sometimes he'll miss work for hip hop shows and stuff. But I was like doing the podcast. I'm like, oh, we got stuff we got to do. I'm like, well, why do you got to miss work? And he's like, oh, well, my pig is sick. And I'm like, and so I get a hold of him. I'm like, what? And he's like, yeah, I gotta go to. It's in Dryden. Dryden's a place just located outside of Thunder Bay. And I'm like, no, that's not the weird part of your story. I know we're about Dryden. It's like, when did you get pigs? I he'll do that to me. He'll skip over the weird part of something. In this case, he's like, yeah, I missed work this week. My pigs are sick. And I'm like, I gotta go Dryden. I'm like, what? And he's like, oh yeah, Dryden, yeah.
Yeah,
It's like 4 hours from here. And I'm like, that's not the weird part about the story, dude.
Yeah, I think it was like I was like, yeah, the only exotic pet vet that we have in like North, like in
you
the
didn't
area.
even you didn't even specify that.
Yeah, yeah.
You were just like, I didn't miss work. I had pigs. I'm like, when did you get pigs?
Yeah.
Like, when did the pig
And then
thing happen?
the thing I offered, I was like, if you want, I can come by tonight since I'm leaving tomorrow morning, and I was
Yeah.
like, and I can like help to like do some stuff for work and stuff, and then you're like, that's not the part that I'm like.
Yeah, that's
when
not
did
the
you
weird-
get pig?
Yeah. Like,
So
Some answers right
yeah,
I need some answers. So Brandon, So we're sorry, Abby, if you're watching, and about your pig. I don't know what the name of the pig is.
what, chocolate?
Is it chocolate?
Yeah, the one that
Okay.
passed. Yeah.
Okay.
So we're trying to like introduce them to each other and bond them to each other right now, because it's like guinea pigs are naturally social animals, and it's like they grieve like humans, which is crazy to me, because I was like reading up yesterday when we were at like on lunch break, and I was like reading, I'm like, man, like we really gotta be there for Peanut. Like, I was like,
Be there for peanuts.
yeah.
What's funny is that my pet eats guinea pigs.
Oh my God.
This is for everybody who's uninitiated. This is Dr. Bruce. She comes from a long line of hunters. Actually, her mother was.
Yeah, I got a cat too, eh?
Oh, do you?
Yeah,
Oh,
I got
would
a
you get a
cat.
cat?
Lex-
That's major news.
Oh,
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah. It was my late sister's cat,
Oh, okay.
and so we adopted that cat. So we're keeping it as a support.
A sport cat.
Yeah, support cat for us, because we,
Which is the worst animal to have as a support cat.
yeah.
It's
but,
like, cause cats are awful. Like my cat, like I'll be in the saddest state I could be in, and I'll be like, oh, she's during my show, she messes stuff up and then takes off.
Yeah.
So I'll be depressed. I'll be on the couch with blankets, and you know how you get depressed. You order some pizza or something.
Yeah.
No one's home. Set up a little thing on the couch, almost like your adult tents. You know, you got your books and your laptop, your phone. You got pizza. You're just sitting there like so depressed. I don't even want to cook. And then I'll be like, oh, there's my cat, my loving cat. My cat will like jump up, knock my Pepsi down, and go running off. And I'm like, what the fuck, Bruce? I need your support. And then she'll bite my toe or something. And then, what kind of cat do you have? Is
it's a little Siamese cat.
Oh,
Very
Siamese.
Siamese are the best, but the worst ever.
Yeah, they're very this one I have it's very gentle and
Really?
Yeah.
yeah,
Nice.
very gentle and
Yeah.
calm.
Calm. You have a calm Siamese.
Yeah, and very very talkative. But
Yeah.
once I get back to it, it'll talk to me and be like, where the hell are you?
Oh yeah. It's-
I want my food.
oh yeah. They're demonstrative. Yeah, Siamese. That's major news to have a cat, especially Siamese. A Siamese support cat.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, it's not really it was my late sister's
Yeah.
cat. Yeah.
Fair enough. Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's just a cat. Yeah.
It's just a cat.
Is it adorable?
It's adorable. It's really cute. It's really light too. Yeah.
And so when it comes to the pigs, how many you have? 3 left?
Yeah, we got 3 right now. Yeah.
And I know nothing about guinea pigs.
Yeah, so guinea pigs are super social. First of all, I just wanted to say that's awesome you got the Siamese cat now, because the only time I've ever met a Siamese cat was through you, actually.
Okay,
So
yeah.
That one time we were on the shoot, and that cat kept attacking my feet.
That was Charlie. I think?
Yeah, I think it
Charlie,
was.
when we gave him away.
Yeah, it was. No, like beautiful cats, but like that one kept going for my feet, and I was like,
That might have been that might have been Charles though. He might have just been a normal black cat.
yeah, no, that one was Siamese. I
Was he
remember
white?
that one. Yeah, it was like a lighter, like white grayish kind of deal.
White grayish. I'm trying to think because the cat we had was that we couldn't get rid of this cat. And we put an ad up, and no one would take him. And he was an adorable cat. But then when I put Siamese cat for sale and charged $100, I got like 10 calls.
Oh wow!
I couldn't give away a free cat.
Oh,
And
really?
it was wonderful. I didn't want to give him up, but my wife was like, she had a cat. I had a cat already, so she didn't want a third cat. But
Third cat.
yeah, well, because she had her cat, and her cat was like 29 years old. Like,
Oh, wow.
yeah.
Wow,
It's the
really
oldest.
old.
No, it wasn't actually.
Yeah,
but it was
yeah,
like
yeah,
it was an old cat. Like it didn't even meow anymore. It just made like a noise and
Grunt.
Cat on
It was like, old man, get off my couch. It was like the old. It was bitchy. It was like the bitch's
Yeah.
cat, and then my cat, and they used to fight. We'd come and the'd be fur and blood everywhere, and then so she didn't want a third cat to add in, especially Siamese. So that's
Turn
the
it into a
cat.
triple threat match. Or...
Tag the Siamese in.
yeah.
DDT.
But the funny thing is her cat was all white, and my cat is fully black, and they would just fight every day, and it was like, and my cat and her, and we're opposites, so it was like yin and yang of our cats fighting.
Yin and yang.
Yeah, it was almost beautiful, except for the claws on the floor and the yeah.
You'd walk in
Yeah,
and it
that
would
slow motion.
look like a Jedi versus Sith battle.
Oh,
in
it's
there.
brutal, man. It was brutal. Like when you see cat blood on the ground, you're just like, what the hell happened
Oh,
here?
yeah.
And then shit was all knocked off. But
Yeah,
you-
and you just chaos around
Chaos.
and stuff like that.
did you ever have a cat growing up? Or
Yeah,
what did you
I
grow
did.
up with?
I grew up with a dog first and
Okay.
foremost. Then we had a hamster. The hamster got lost in the wall, and he actually survived and made it out, which like to me is fascinating. I can only imagine the little adventure he went on. And then we got a cat after, but then we had to get rid of the cat. Because it was just like every night it would decide that it was just like an expert at parkour, and it would just start like doing wall rides on the wall
Oh,
and
yeah,
stuff.
that's what they do.
That's what they do. You got rid of it for that?
Well,
That's
like,
why you get a cat.
that's why you get a cat.
Whose cat was it?
It was. Okay, so I was a kid at the time. We
Okay.
got it, and then it was just that like my parents at the time were working shift work and stuff
Oh,
like
okay,
that.
yeah.
So it was like sometimes they'd be needing to sleep and be up at 7, and then they would just hear like fucking wall rides going on,
yeah,
and they'd be
Random,
like,
random
and
parkours.
and then we had a bird at one time, like a little
bird.
cockatiel. Yeah, cockatiels are really cool, actually. How they can like begin to communicate and stuff like that, like just learn to like mimicry and stuff like that. So, yeah.
A bird to me is like okay, like there's certain animals like a cat, a dog. Dogs love humans. Like after
Yeah, they do.
10, 20,000 years, they're
Yeah.
just like, we're the best thing ever. And it's just like evolutionarily, they're just like, I love humans. They really enjoy. So
Yeah.
whenever someone's like, no, you're locking a dog up, I'm like, shut the hell up. It's the dogs
Yeah.
love humans, period.
Yeah.
Cats are like, we are their pets. So I
Yeah.
get that. Like my cat, like I clean her box. Like she sleeps everywhere. She breaks my stuff.
Cats are like, I own you. You clean up my stuff.
Yes, yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
And so those two animals make sense, like for me as a pet. But birds and
Yeah.
fish are just an illustration of how powerful man is.
Yeah.
That's just like I conquer
100%.
nature, and I'm gonna take you out of your natural environment. You fucking bird, get in the cage. Like just you're my bird now. You know. And same with
Yeah.
fish. Like
Yeah,
dude,
100.
like fish. You're just like it's just like. I'm living my best life. I'm going up and down oceans and rivers, and you're like, get out of here. I'm putting you in a bowl.
Yeah.
And you're just like, we imprison birds and fish.
Yeah, I was gonna say that's actually really true.
It's
about
just,
lizards?
am I wrong here?
No, owning fish, I feel like is such a vanity sport almost.
It's such a
because
vanity thing.
It's like you like have this massive tank, and like that's the thing is like I've known people who own fish, and the amount that they spend on their aquariums is ludicrous.
Well, see,
Really?
Like multiple thousands
I'm fully-
of dollars just
I'm
on
fully
their
cool
home.
with that.
And
I'm
that's
fully
cool.
cool with that.
I love it because they're beautiful and stuff like that, but I'm just like, man, like, you know what I mean? Like, I just wonder how like it affects, like, you know what I mean? Like,
well, no, I'm
the-
okay. Here's my thing. If you have bougie fish, like if you have like thousands of liters of water with plants, and you put
Mm-hmm.
turtle in there to mess around, he's got his buddy, you know, and you give him some fish buddies. So it's like a bougie. It's like Cancun for fish.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Then that's cool, right? Like you
Yeah.
put the money in. You know, you got some Cancun fish
Yeah.
resort, but it's like. My kid, Laird, had a fish or a rowan, and I used to get mad at him because he had it in his room, and it was like it'd have like a sweater over it, and I'm like, that's like a live because he's like six, he's like young, he doesn't know better, so it's like to him it's a fish. It's
Yeah.
like a plant, so he'd have like a sweater over it, and I
doesn't
used to get
understand.
mad, and so I took it out of his room and I put it, and then that fish would dart all over because he was looking at stuff. He's like, "Hey, what's up? I'm part of the family now. I'm not just in a closet with a sweater over me."
Yeah.
And my kid got mad. He's like, "It's my fish," and so I was like, "It ain't your fish.
yeah.
It's not your fish. It's a fish." Like you can't own a fish. You can own a dog. I totally think you own a dog.
Oh yeah.
But you don't own a fish.
Yeah. I think it's really interesting too because a lot of people that get fish and like they try to introduce different fish into like ecosystems and stuff like that, certain fish will sometimes decimate other fish
Really?
like within the tanks and stuff like that. Like
real?
Because you can get little sharks and stuff like that.
yeah.
You can get eels. You can get different types of bottom feeders. My dad used to have a fish tank. We introduced a bottom feeder, and he was like, this is my tank now, pretty much. And it was like we started introducing like other fish, and like it took a long time for him to not actually eat the other fish. It was wild.
Yeah, there's certain fish like angelfish and
Even like betas, they fight.
Betas
stuff.
beat the shit out of everything.
Exactly.
Betas and yeah.
Yeah.
And so you have this adorable little fish that you're like, and you're like, okay, people have goldfish and they'll get a beta, or you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And they're like, oh, cool.
They're so beautiful.
And then yeah, you're like, oh, they're good. He's got a buddy now, but you just like introduced like a high school bully that's murderous though, like over time. So, and I'll see people. I'm like, do you not know betas don't go with like any fish? Like even other betas, you have to do a separator.
Yeah, you got to put.
And then they'll be like, yeah, strangest thing, like my goldfish's fins have started disappearing, and I'm like, that's because the fucking beta is like destroying your fish, but it's a slow, so that goldfish's life is like,
just getting traumatized.
just getting
daily.
traumatized slowly, just like swimming up to the thing, like you're like, oh look, he's really hungry today, but he's like, get me out of here, this is horrible, like this fucking guy's eating me. And because fish only eat like a half a gram of food a day, you're getting eaten half a gram a day for like a year until you're dead, and you're just like, oh, the goldfish is sick. You're like,
yeah. The long silence.
Totally silent. Like, whoa, that's so horrifying.
yeah, that's
The
what I'm saying.
the animal kingdom can be
fish
real
kingdoms.
rough.
The fish kingdom is fucked.
Especially when you when you're like creating these little ecosystems, and it's like because like goldfish can grow to their environment.
They grow, they actually get big.
That's crazy to me.
Goldfish in the wild are like they can be like bass and northern.
Do they?
They do.
Yeah.
And here's the thing: big goldfish are like aggressive. They'll beat
they're-
the shit out of their fish.
Yeah, they're like predators.
So I don't think goldfish are a problem in some of the Great Lakes and some of in the United States, Mississippi, and they're killing them and banning and certain fish like that,
didn't
like
know
human
that.
introduced species are ravaging natural species and taking over, and it's a huge problem because they don't have predators where they're from. So when they're introduced to like fish that are nice, good old friendly Canadian fish, and then you bring in this Chinese fighting fish.
Oh, yeah.
And it's like kung fuing every fucking fish in the river. Like,
Holy.
yeah. And so it's,
The more you know.
Yeah.
Wow.
Facts. Well, I think that's why you're not
Facts.
supposed to dump goldfish in the toilet. I'm pretty sure is because like they can,
if they're alive.
yeah, or
If
like
they're
releasing it.
dead, you just fucking dump them. And on that note, we are looking for sponsors. It's info@daymedia. We have a Patreon. If you want to know more about fish and animals and all kinds of fucked up content, even pigs, well, Brandon and I will be the ones to tell you about it. So we are looking for sponsors. It could be anything. You can sponsor us with love, comments, pizza. Leslie, what do you need?
Or share, like button.
You want to share a like button?
Yeah.
That's what you want people to sponsor you with?
Yeah.
Okay, Leslie wants a share like button, apparently. I don't know what the fuck that means, but you know what? We'll try to get him one. Brandon, probably, what do you want? What would make our show better?
What would make our show better?
Other than
your
cold-
sponsorship.
Other than cold hard content or a cash.
Yeah, cold hard cash. Other than cold hard cash, some support. Support is free. Like and share.
Like and share.
There you go.
Like and share, people. Get us out. We got all kinds of fucked up animal fucking podcasts coming. We're gonna have the story of the guinea pig, where they actually come from. I found out recently they're not actually pigs. I was viewing them as you know how smelts are small fish,
Yeah.
and you cook up like 1,000 of them, and you can eat them like French fries. They're delicious. Smelts are delicious. I assume guinea pigs were also like the same way. They're just the smelts of the pig kingdom, and so you could deep fry a fucking guinea pig, and it'd be like 100 grams of pork. I told my kid that. He got mad at me, and he fucked off, and he's like, you're a fucking idiot, and I'm like, why? Like, dude, why am I an idiot? I didn't know something. Why so much anger? And he's like, because you're an idiot. They're not smelts of the pig kingdom. And I'm like, I don't know, man. I don't. And that's when I realized I know a lot of shit, but I know nothing about fucking guinea pigs. And why are they called pigs when they're not even pigs? They're guinea what? What the fuck are they? Rodents?
Yeah, they're rodents. Yeah, and shout out to the guy who was defending them.
Rodents.
They're rodents.
Yeah,
My kid got seriously mad. I'm not even joking. My kid got mad.
I love it.
He's like, they're not fucking pigs. And I just assumed like you fucking put a stick in them and put them in deep fry.
Like Fallout, like the squirrel meat or
Yeah.
whatever.
Well, I didn't. It's a little pig. Like, so I'm assuming they taste delicious.
I don't know. I don't think I will ever try it.
Try guinea pig?
No.
Oh, there's got to be a culture. Okay, here's the
I'm
thing.
sure that there is.
Here's the thing, though. Here's the thing. There's always a culture that eats something.
Yes.
Right?
Definitely, yeah.
Okay, so since we're the show of no topics and we go down every fucking angle, we never know what we're going to talk about. Weirdest shit you've ever eaten, starting with you, Brandon.
Okay, I love that transition. So the weirdest thing that I've ever eaten, I don't necessarily know if it's weird necessarily. Well, okay. One of the most uncomfortable things that I've ever eaten probably was a lobster with its eyes. I don't like.
Oh yeah, because they have the
yeah.
long eyes.
Yeah, like I just don't like.
Oh, fair.
When there's eyes on something that I'm about to like crack into and stuff. Yeah, I don't like it. It's a little unsettling for me.
Okay.
How about you, Leslie?
And they have those long, like
The tendril
eyes
eyes,
with the eyes at the end.
Exactly. Yeah.
Was it? So it was dead though.
It was dead.
But just seeing the eyes.
It was dead, but it's like it wasn't a tail. It was like the full lobster with the like head.
Oh no,
yeah. So it was
straight
just,
from the ocean, served you cooked, and then it's
Exactly.
still, but they didn't cut off the uncomfortable shit.
Yeah, exactly. It was like the whole thing was there, and it's like it was my first time ever like having lobster, and I was kind of like, yeah, like, it was a seafood night, and I was like, yeah, I think I'll just stick to the crab and the stuff that's not looking at me.
Remove the shit that makes me uncomfortable. Murder that crab, but just take off its eyes so I don't feel uncomfortable eating that murdered crab meat. Okay, weirdest thing you've ever eaten.
Yeah.
Honestly, I've never had anything weird.
You must have.
Other than the smell of a beaver.
The smell of a beaver.
The smell of the beaver, I can't.
But you can't eat the smell of a beaver.
I can't stand the smell.
Well, the smell of a beaver, yeah, because
or
they're
the
water
taste-
animals.
or the
They're water
taste,
animals.
So yeah. So
For people who don't know, I'm Anishinaabe from 1850 territory. He's Treaty 9?
Treaty 9, yeah.
Treaty 9. He's Treaty 9 from...
Webbequay?
Yeah. I'm the host. No, I'm just joking. No, but yeah, he's... here, tell us where you're from.
I'm from Webbequay First Nation, which is 550 kilometers
By plane, right?
approximately, yeah.
Yeah, play straight up.
So I just need to correct people here. It's Webbequay, not however people pronounce it.
Oh, how do they pronounce it?
Webbequay or something like that.
Oh, Webbequay. Okay, Webbequay.
You said it right, yeah.
I always say Webbequay.
Yeah.
But what do they say?
Sometimes they Webbequay.
Webequay?
Yeah, Webequay.
Okay, what I always enjoy, and we'll do consultation for everybody out there. We were talking about this earlier. We're not going to get into that, but that's what we do is a job, and like we exist outside of that because we're just working with indigenous communities, indigenous people. What's great is really white people from Toronto. And trying to pronounce like native place names and native names, and they're like, and they'll fuck up like the English name at the start of it because they're so worried about the end. So they'll be like, Joni Kakagamic, and I'm like, no, it's Johnny Kakagamic. Like, how do you fuck that up? Enunciate it, man. So it's the same with the Webbequay or Bumatung is the one.
Yeah. Amadung.
That's the best
Yeah.
fucking one when white people there's like
Amadung.
yeah, and they're like boomatang, like it's Wu-Tang. Like no man, you're fucking this shit up. Like you're supposed to be like the head government official coming to this First Nation.
You guys named that. You guys named those places, and you guys wrote it.
Yeah.
You know.
And then we're Sandpoint, and so we got an English name because we well with the reserve system we were the main reserve, but before the reserves even existed, there was no reserve. It was just we were the main territory where shamans were, and that's where my family lineage comes from, living as medicine people. And when we lived there, we lived on the point by the sand, and there was lots of fishing and even some farming. And so we would stay there a lot. And so now my territory is going back to being named their traditional name, which is
nice.
Abingwe Nyashe Nishnabek, which is the people of the Sandpoint. And so you're seeing, which is cool, you're seeing that, and there's no real funny end to what I'm saying here, but they're starting to name themselves again, like go by their real names rather than Sandpoint First Nation. But I say it as Sandpoint because it's just easier for white people. I'm like, because it means the same thing. So I'm like, we're Sandpoint First Nation people, and then they're like, no, there's another word. I'm like, no, don't do it. Don't fucking do it. Bingwa, Anishinaash, and I'm like, no, just the Sandpoint. Sandpoint's fine. Yeah. And then what's funny is like my cousins and people from my res or I've seen this on other reses are like, it's like anti-colonial thing. So they'll be like, no, you fucking pronounce our name. You say our name, like, you know what I mean? It's like an emotional thing. And I'm like, let the poor white people just say white sand. You know what I mean? Do they have to say big way? Like, cause I have trouble with it too. So I'm like, yeah, make them say it. And then I'm like, wait, I can't fucking say it. I'm like, don't make me say it, cause I'm in the same boat. So I'm like, okay. Well, what's your, so Webukwe, is that I've heard that where the name comes from. Have you always known that as was there another name that or was that always the original term?
I think I forgot that other name, but the Webukwe is basically it's just a lake, you know.
The lake,
The lake, Webukwe Lake.
Yeah.
But we just named our reserve Webukwe, I guess.
Oh,
and it means shaking head from side to side. So
yeah. I heard it was a shaking head of a goose or a duck or something.
Duck, yeah.
Yeah, duck.
Antlers, yeah.
And I heard a couple of different stories. They're mostly the same, yeah.
Yeah, mostly the same.
Yeah. And then ours is people Sandpoint, near Sandpoint. So we used to live near where it was really nice beaches, and then there was good hunting, good farming, and good fishing. So for all you out there who think we're just like would always be nomadic, no, we had fishing things, and we'd have like we'd go somewhere in summer, but always come back to our year-round house.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
But that was like we're like French people. French people had villas. Italian people have villas, so they'll stay home. But then in summer, they're like, we're gonna go to this really nice place and spend the summer there. Come back for winter. So we're very much like that. You're learning something today that we're very much like European nations in that aspect. Brandon, you're. I don't know anything about your territory or anything. How does that work with you?
Mohawk Ganawage. So
Okay.
I mean, like, truthfully, I'm actively learning
You're
about
learning,
it.
yeah. You're
I was
learning, and
gonna
that's
say,
it.
so
I don't mean to put you on the spot, but
Yeah.
and this is part of learning.
Yeah, no. So I'm still walking that learning path and stuff
Cool.
like that. I've been like, I have family down there and stuff like that I'm adamant I do want to go meet them and stuff like that. It's just a matter of getting down to Montreal, because it's like not just like taking, you know what I mean, taking a 2-hour drive or 3-hour drive. So but basically the way that I've learned about the history of my family and stuff like that from my uncle, because my uncle's done a ton of research into basically how we became First Nation and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Because originally my family was from Massachusetts, and then and then a Mohawk
Fucking Americans.
and then a Mohawk. And then a Mohawk raiding party ended up going
Say
there.
it like it's a bad thing.
Oh no, I'm not saying like it's a bad thing.
Continue on.
I love it.
Holy fucking put your gun away.
Yeah.
Don't freak out.
So originally Rice family from Massachusetts. The kids were working out on the property and on their farms, and then a Mohawk raiding party ended up coming and basically snatching up like 4 of the kids. One of the kids was too young to make the journey, so he ended up getting 3 of them ended up making it. 2 of them ended up amalgamating. One of them got ransomed back to their parent and stuff like that because they weren't able to hack the life. And then the other 2 ended up basically amalgamating into the culture. One of them ended up staying with the chief at the time.
I love, and sorry to interrupt with this history, but amalgamating is like his word. It starts screwing around. With the First Nation.
They started shacking up.
I've never like I love it, Brandon, but fucking like what a fucking classy.
What is he saying?
What a fucking classy way of.
Word. What does that mean?
Are you hearing this? What a fucking classy way of saying fucking around or shacking up. They amalgamated. And, like no, they were shacked up.
So anyways, they said. They said fuck colonial life and ended up going and living in Ganawage. And
see, do you see what I mean? What he does to me? He does that. He'll say like weird shit and he'll gloss over it. And I'm like amalgamating. Their family amalgamated? I'm like, what is it? And then he'll be like, oh yeah, that's why I'm here. And he skips over the part that I fucking love
it's
you,
perfect.
Brandon. I fucking love you, Brandon. You
just kind of lost me there with that word. What is he saying?
What's he saying? I knew right away. I'm like fucking shacked up. I know exactly fucking what he meant. Just the good old shack up. They're like, you're that Victorian Massachusetts culture. Well, one's like, yeah, one of my cousins died in like many ways, but these First Nation women looking good.
We haven't. What was the weirdest food you had?
Oh, the weirdest food. Weirdest food. Okay. Well, I had some weird shit, and I'm just to say weird shit is how I talk. Deal with it. Don't fucking condemn me for it. But it went like like if you go to like areas in Toronto, it's a Chinese frequent. Like they eat everything. So I ate lots of weird shit there, like octopus, rabbit, fucking ear, like just anything, right? Like their soups have fucking like 20 animals in, but that wasn't weird because that was more like exotic Asian soup. Problem.
I love how the camera's on us as he's talking about it too. Just the reactions. I just want to perfect.
Okay, back to describing my favorite. God bless Tommy Yellowhead. He left us recently. I did some work for him for a cultural component. I'm glad that's why I love the work I do, because I was able to. I have his words on archives. Anyone from his family get a hold of me, because I think I'd have to dump the tapes, but I have a lot of that from working with the ministry, and they have it too. But Tommy brought me to. They have a resort on their community. Are you aware of the resort? They have a resort on the lake. Like I think it's on a Winnisk Lake or Winnisk River or something.
No, I'm not.
It's like a 5-star. It's like a hotel. Like you fly in and you go in, and it's like in the middle. It's the best fishing ever. Like you don't need minnows or anything. You throw it in, you catch fish. It's incredible. But that's one of the things they do for economic development there. And so he brought us there to record the traditions of his territory. So we went to all these private places. I'm not going to mention where or just give only basic details. So we went to the old village where the cemeteries were, totally grown in, and we got to see like the old village components. So the European and the old stuff. And so I documented it, and we brought chairs. It was a big thing. We brought chairs and tables. We had dinner out there. I recorded elders walking with us, and it was absolutely amazing. But when I first arrived, as is wont to happen, elders want to make fun of me and Andrew Michael, and that was the little DJ I used to work with, and because we were City Indians. So it wasn't that because he was darker than you and I'm like a light native. So I know it wasn't because I was light. They were just making fun of us because we were City Indians. So the first thing they did was go catch fish and then clean them in front of us and ask us, hey, did you clean fish? And I'm like, yeah, I can clean fish. And then they're like, buddy, you ever do this? And they put the fish bladders on a stick, and then they pop up like popcorn. They go.
Oh yeah, those fish guts.
Yeah,
Oh,
fish.
nice.
So it's like offal, right?
Yeah.
So
It
it's
tastes-
not awful. It's
good.
awful. OFFAL. It's called offal. So it's any internal organ of an animal. And so they give us offal, and I'd had it before when I was young, but
those are good.
I hadn't had it since I was fucking like a kid. So
Same.
it's really fishy, like because it's they live in the water, like, and they're very fishy, right? And so I asked for hot sauce, and they had some. So I was like, hot sauce. I was like, this is good. It's fish bladder or whatever.
Fish balloons.
Yeah. Pretty
Yeah,
much,
yeah,
yeah.
it's
Yeah, they pop
good,
up,
yeah,
eh?
they pop, yeah.
But Andrew Michael was eating it and threw up in his mouth and they kept on, and he didn't want to insult it. I'm like, don't fucking insult these elders. And so I'm like, you better swallow that. So, and then he ate it and he just ran off, and he's like, holy fuck, I couldn't eat that. And I was like, and I ate like 2 of them, and I was like, yeah, that's fine. And then the elders opened up because I did it. And they were like, oh, you're good, cool. I can understand enough of them in Indian that they were saying like, oh, well, that Indian will try anything. He seems like a good guy. And then they befriended me and they told me stories because they're kind of making fun of me, but they're kind of like, here, try something. Want to see the reaction. My reaction was just like, yeah, that's cool. That's what you do here. That doesn't bother me. But poor Andrew Michael. So that's my that's I think probably the oddest thing, because no one would think to eat a fish bladder.
Fish platter, so good.
And they're not. Yeah, they're you put them on a stick, put them in the fire.
Fire, and boom.
And I think I heard someone in Webquay was saying that kids do that. They'll do that. They'll put it over the fire when they're young.
They would, yeah.
I don't know how true that is, but I just heard that was something that was done by youth. So I don't know. Have you ever heard of that?
No, I've never heard of. Well, I mean, I've heard of it through like working with you guys and stuff like that, because I've heard the term "awful" mentioned before.
Okay.
And like the description of it and stuff like that, but I've never actually tried it.
It's awful.
Yeah, who knows? I mean, I like fish and stuff like that, right? Like, so I mean, I'd be down to try it.
It's
sure.
different than fish, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, so we would have fish eggs too, and then put it.
Oh,
make
put
it
in your
as a
bannock.
bannock.
Put in your bannock, yeah.
I miss that with butter.
And that seems weird to people with bannock. Like traditional bannocks, you'll have berries, you'll have fish eggs. Fish eggs is delicious, by the way, in your bannock. It's just hard to find like the specific fish eggs, like to get them. Yeah, because you have to get them. But blueberries, maple syrup, bannock, and where bannock comes from, it's a Scottish bread, but originally, but when flour was introduced, we were deep frying stuff already with a lot of bear fats and animal fats.
yeah.
So that's where the original bannocks, I always research like where's all this shit come from. And when we got flour, it was immediate. Like we're like, oh, we don't have to mush up plants and shit anymore and fry it like that. This was like a great white man invention, like flour. Because we didn't have wheat here, but we had our own farm, so corn. That's what they did in your territory. In our territory, we'd go steal your corn. Fucking Nishnabek.
Steal your wives too.
Nishnabek. Yeah, we didn't steal our wives though.
We left those.
We didn't shack up. We didn't shack up with the
What's that word again?
amalgamate.
Oh yeah,
We amalgamated.
Yeah. Be like, who you, next time I see her, I'll be like, who are you amalgamating with?
So, you amalgamate with anyone recently?
Amalgamated with anyone lately? How's the amalgamation going? Oh, maybe we can pronounce that word so well. This is amalgamation.
Nice.
What time do we have here, guys? I know that you said you had to.
It's 5:30.
5:30.
Yeah,
Okay,
so we still got time.
We're fine. We're 40 minutes in. I'm just trying to think about what we should do next, and I think it's that we should get our sponsors. And we are looking for sponsors. It's info@theymedia. If you want to email us, we do have. What's that place you give money to? I had it earlier.
Charity? No.
Where you
Burger Barn, or?
No, when you set it up and you can give online via Burger Barn.
Patreon.
Patreon. We have a Patreon set up. We do have a Patreon set up. We'll start getting that in the podcast. We're new. We're just building up content. But we do want to do this full. Well, I wouldn't say full time, but a couple times a week. We might actually have a special guest tomorrow. We're gonna see if Liam's gonna bring him on.
Nice.
But yeah, we'll see. It's the show tomorrow, so
Cool.
we're hoping the best on that. We'll see where that works out.
Well, that'd be pretty cool.
Yeah,
That'd be really cool.
yeah.
So, you like stuff?
I just love to just end conversation, not end anything, and just switch to your angle and just watch you kind of just watch you guys amalgamating over there.
Just rocking back and forth here. So,
So you have I saw you at the art gallery, and get back onto other topics. I seen you at the art gallery. You have some artwork and some poetry up, or
yeah.
something like that.
So
Tell
I
us
ended,
about it.
so I ended up working with Nietzsche Studio.
Okay.
We did
Shout out to Nietzsche
yeah,
Studio.
shout out Nietzsche Studio.
Oh, you work
for
with Nietzsche
real.
too?
Well, I was on the board, but I took a break.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, so I ended up working with Nietzsche Studio as a committee member, and chatted with them for their Oh My Creator art exhibition, where anyone who's created art with Nietzsche Studio was able to submit and stuff like that. So they asked me if I was interested in having some poetry up within there. So I was like, I would absolutely love to. So I submitted a couple of poems and stuff, and then the 3 that are up now were chosen and stuff.
You hosted a workshop. What type would that say?
Yeah, I hosted a poetry workshop as well, and then I also worked to like facilitate just like doing photography and behind the scenes stuff, just to
behind the
kind of
scenes,
help out. Yeah. So
Getting my good angles, good shot.
yeah, of course, getting everybody's good angles and telling everyone to strike a pose real quick, you know.
And what I know you work for them, and is that at Luke and Lady?
Yeah, that's Lucille out.
Yeah, Lucille.
Yep.
I think I met her a handful of times, but what did they do over there?
They actually started Nietzsche Studio.
But once again, like Nietzsche.
Yeah, so Nietzsche Studio is a art. Okay, Nietzsche Studio is a arts-based programming provider who works with Indigenous youth between the age of 14 and 29. And so if you're younger than 14, then you can come. You just have to have an adult with you, because we just need to make sure that there's someone there to personally help, like a guardian or someone along those lines. And so we provide everything from, the past couple events that we've done have been like a ribbon skirt making workshop.
Oh, nice.
There was a poetry workshop we ran a little while ago. We did porcupine quill and birch bark. Yeah, like that workshop was really cool as well, where we learned how to like dye the porcupine quills and then do like
I took one of those before, yeah.
And we did that. We've also done just beading with birch bark and making like little pendants and stuff like that, and like earrings and like centerpieces for necklaces and stuff like that. So yeah, there's like a lot of really cool arts-based cultural programming which is being taught and shared, and they always have elders who are there in order to basically facilitate lessons as well as teachings as they're teaching the arts-based programming. So I think it's beautiful, because it's like we did that work with Laura, and pre doing that work with Laura, I actually had a connection built with Laura through Nietzsche Studio, and because they were doing
Laura Comwind.
Laura Comwind.
OSLP.
Yeah, OSLP. Yeah. So
that's a training for if you're wondering what that is. It's a training program for. You can go learn heavy equipment. You go learn and get like trades. And so if you're interested in that, shout out to OSLP, and you can type that in on your browser, and you get heavy equipment training. What are the other stuff they do?
They do security guard training, heavy equipment training. They do pre-employment training, truck driving.
Yeah, truck driving, like everything. So we're not pimping it out. We just did some media work for them, but I always forget, like, these are cool assets for First Nation people, Indigenous people. Like, go there. Like, they'll get you the training, and you get a job in the trades. And we, like, the fastest growing thing we need as Indigenous people, especially development of our communities, is trades. So, shout out Laura, go there, get trades.
Absolutely.
So sorry to interrupt.
Oh, yeah,
so
no.
you met Laura.
So I was going to say, I met Laura through that. And the first time that I actually met Laura, we were doing like there was a ceremony where we were like giving an offering to the fire, as well as leaving an offering for the spirits as well. And then we did some drumming. It was something related to this, to strawberries. I think it might have been like strawberry ceremony or.
Strawberry ceremony, yeah.
Yeah.
Strawberries, really? Yeah, that's a woman's ceremony.
Yeah.
Women's ceremony.
Yeah.
Is it strawberry? Isn't it?
The heartberry.
Oh, yeah?
We should call it heartberry instead.
Heart-
Yeah.
'Cause they're shaped like a heart.
Yeah, shaped like a heart.
Heartberry?
Or a peach.
Heartberry. Little
I like
yeah.
I love it.
Make that
yeah, so-
make that shape again. What's it? Yeah. It's a heart, and it's also kind of a peach. It's a peach.
Yeah. So the first time I ever met Laura was actually through Nietzsche Studio.
Okay, yeah.
We did that ceremony, and then we were drumming, and I actually got a chance to drum for the first time there. And
Nice.
so it's like a lot of firsts for me, and a lot of reconnecting with culture and stuff like that. Even though I am Mohawk and I am displaced, it's nice to be able to learn Anishinaabe culture, and nice to be able to be exposed to Ojibwe culture here. You know.
Yeah, it's here is a weird wrinkle. And sorry to rain in your parade, but a lot of Anishinaabe and Six Nations were the opposite. So
Yeah, they were,
our
yeah.
beliefs.
Yeah.
And it's not that like we're opposite, like Six Nations people burn trees, and we like there's nothing like that. But it's just their conceptions are opposite, like how they understand them. So Anishinaabe and Six Nations a long time ago had issues because their beliefs were opposite in terms of I guess like what you call religion.
Yes.
And so there could be spirituality and some of the so even though they'd be very much the same, and if you meet Mohawk today, like they're very much like, oh shit, we both really believe the same stuff. Back in the day, it was I think that could have been some of the issues that we'd face with our Six Nation brothers. Well, it would be Five Nation at the time because they added the Six Nation after the wars, right? Mm-hmm. So it's like a weird. Hey, see, fucking educational, fucking animal facts.
This is
Indigenous history, fucking training programs, good-looking Brandon
and Leslie.
and Leslie. Well, also, so see, why did you say it like that? Now you make it seem like I was like fucking good-looking Brandon and fucking Leslie. Like, no. I wasn't saying it like that.
I love it.
I was trying to bug you. It makes it seem like I'm a fucking asshole. But it's Notopicless. Like no topic is safe from us. You learn a little bit about everything.
Oh, I thought I heard no topless.
Go topless, yeah. Go topless.
Yeah, anyone goes topless on here, we're shutting it down right away.
No.
Topless.
Here's the thing: we can't shut it down because the law says that's the law. It's illegal to go topless. If you want to go topless, we actually can't. That would be discrimination.
Really?
It's discrimination, yeah. Because women, I want to say 93, earned the right. Supreme Court decision they can go topless like men because you like and to be honest, like, come on, you go to the beach and you see the fattest guy topless, you know what I mean? Like,
We love to see it.
yeah you're like yeah, and I know we're not supposed to talk about the fat and everything, but I'm like chubby too, like and it's like women can't show a little boob, like, and men can, like a hairy boob, women have nice boobs. Men have awful boobs, but yeah, that's legal. What a male-based world, right?
As I'm walking in Vegas, you're like, Brandon with his hairy chest.
That Sabe chest.
Like, sorry, Tony, I'll put on a shirt.
What do they say? Women are beautiful. Men are utilitarian. Like, we're made to do stuff. Well, women are made to be looked at. Men are just. Well, yeah, we're angular.
I need a translation on utilitarian.
Men are better at amalgamation.
Okay.
Women are better at strawberry ceremonies.
Okay.
Does that make
Gotcha.
sense?
Yeah, that makes a lot more sense.
That makes sense.
Now.
That makes sense.
Now it's all coming together.
Okay, I just
Amalgamation.
amalgamation ceremony. I thought it'll be next show. It'll be like, yeah, I went back to Montreal. I learned about my amalgamation ceremony.
The shack up season.
He'll be mispronouncing like a native word. It was actually like amalgamazan or something. Like, oh no, I mean it's actually a magazandanus. I didn't.
Magazine Danis?
Carry on. I can't be. I'm not responsible for my guests. I just want to put that out there. But yeah, so all kinds of learning happens on the podcast. It's we're all over the place. Nietzsche Studios is how do people can people join that or
Yeah, so we have a Facebook group. We have an Instagram profile as well. Nietzsche Studios on Facebook, Nietzsche Studios on Instagram as well.
Okay.
We advertise every workshop, every opportunity to get together. We actually just did recruitment, so we've got
nice.
like a bunch of people now who are actually starting out and learning about everything. A lot of the
Cultural
people
stuff.
that a lot of the people that are new that actually joined up recently, they learned about all the steps in order to get work curated, about the curation of it, like how to set everything up in
Okay.
our galleries for when they are eventually going to have their own shows as well, which like to me is really cool because it's like I didn't realize how much like because when I was there I had no idea about the amount of work that goes into actually like displaying and setting up an art gallery because a lot of thought and a lot of work goes into it as well. So it's cool. It's really cool because it's eye opening in a lot of different ways and not just
That's cool. So for everybody, go check out Nietzsche Studios. And I wanted to give the shout out because I was fairly proud of Brandon for getting some poetry up at the art gallery. So tell us where people can see that.
So for those of you who have been to Confederation College, the Thunder Bay Art Gallery is actually located on the property of Confederation College. If you go in through the Balmoral entrance, then it'll be a right turn. And if you go in through the Golf Links entrance, then they're basically follow the loop. And then there's a small little parking spot on the corner. And that's basically where you can park for the
It's the
parking.
tiniest.
It's actually
parking lot.
tiny,
Yeah.
given the fact that I can't wait because I learned when we were at the art gallery that they're going to be doing they just got funded for a new building and for a new location, and the new one is actually going to be at the waterfront district.
Oh yeah.
Really?
And it's it's massive, and like they're not equipped to handle the art that they actually like. When they're loading it in, they're supposed to be able to keep it at a specific temperature, because with art and stuff like that, once again, one of the things that I learned, it's like different
Controlled
temperature
humidity.
fluctuations can
Yeah.
actually severely affect
Yeah.
the art and stuff. And it's like before they weren't able to control it as well as they will be able to within this new building. So it's cool. They're excited because
That's why I keep my house so controlled of temperature and humidity. Cause me, right?
you're a work of art.
Don't want to decay.
Yeah, you don't want to decay. You don't want to smell too.
But yeah, specific. $1 billion building.
Yeah, dude.
Nice.
I'm excited to check it out, It'll be really cool.
I seen some people online, and in public, I was bumping into some, and they're some Anishinaabe, and they're going, it's a colonial art gallery because it's so big. It's $1 billion. They're like, we could spend a little bit on other places in the city, but it's like a massive complex. I don't know how I feel if it's because it's like kind of like these. It's like a $1 billion building, but it's like we got some other stuff going on in Thunder Bay. But it's like
Yeah.
I don't want to become one of those people, and I'm sure for any viewers from Thunder Bay watching, there's this thing where any money that comes in this city, it's like
Could have been spent on the roads.
could have been spent on roads. Like, you know?
Got really rough roads that we have
Yeah, it's
here.
true. The roads are horrible, but it's like they're like, oh, the government gave $100 million. Like,
Yeah.
look at the voice I use right away.
I know.
Oh, the
We
money
could
was spent on.
probably-
But it's like that's the most boring fucking thing you can spend money on is like roads. So spend a
Yeah.
little bit though on roads.
Well, there's I was gonna say it's really weird how we're constantly experiencing the same issues within our weather because across Canada, there's we're not the only place that has this weather fluctuation, but we seem to be the only one who's actually experiencing constant road dis-
No, it's everywhere.
Well,
it's trust
yeah.
me, it's
I was
everywhere.
gonna say Montreal is another one that experiences a lot of road stuff as well. Like they
Toronto.
always have construction.
go
in
to
Montreal.
streets in Toronto.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's Toronto. I
It's-
always see a lot of constructions there too.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's crazy. All they do is focus on freeways. Like
Yeah.
you're on your own in neighborhoods, man.
Yeah.
Like so, it's not just here. It's just we joke because we get probably bigger potholes though.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, we can probably swim in it too. Like
Oh,
those
yeah.
kids.
I seen videos of
That's how we
pothole-
grew up. We used to swim in the pothole. That's
Yeah, we used to
that's
swim
Thunder
in
Bay.
the-
That's
I-
Thunder Bay culture, man. That's
I used to swim in a ditch myself as a kid.
the little culverts or the
little
oh yeah, because they're like deep little, but and the water flows.
Yeah. Yeah, and then we would make little boats too out of foams too.
Yeah.
Could swim in there to get it.
And for anyone who's wondering, first station yards in some cases will be by the road. It'll be like sometimes feet below.
Feet below, yeah, or
And they'll have a culvert, and there'll be a flowing water like in front of the house underneath driveways, and it's actually kind of cool. It's kind of very kind of natural, and it's like you'd like to see more of that in the city, where like get rid of the idea of a lawn, and you got plants growing that slopes into water, and then the water feeds the plants and what actually waters the soil, and then you get like it's more like in tune with nature almost. But then you see kids, they're playing in this flowing water, and it's not like crazy flowing, it's just like
Rapids.
rapids. Yeah, just culverts, just cars getting washed away. It's like I survived that when I was young, but yeah, pretty cool.
Yeah, that's really cool. I was gonna say, honestly, like, I totally agree too that like there is clearly like something up with the spending if we're constantly like, you know what I mean? Like I'm just like looking at it like the construction by our house. It's been 2 years.
Yeah, it's been
2 years. And it's been closed down for 2 years, and there was literally.
Are you talking about the hill?
Yeah.
It would be
Yeah.
that way
Exactly.
over on River.
That's
the
the
river,
one.
the
Yeah.
River Hill.
That is
Yeah.
the one. And yeah, it's been down for 2 years, and that's such a main.
Oh, it's, I don't mind it. It's been peaceful because last summer I go in my backyard, lay on a towel, a big fat niche on a towel with my bag of chips and pop, and then there's no traffic.
Yeah, I was
and I'm
gonna
just
say.
like, it's so peaceful. It's just like I'm just like in the bush. I'm like, oh, okay, this is good. I have my little radio.
Yeah, I was gonna
because when it's open, it's
yeah,
like
traffic all the time.
constant ambulances, police,
Oh,
like
yeah.
just.
Yeah, because it's a major.
It's a main route.
Yeah,
River
main
Street's a
road,
main
yeah,
route.
yeah.
Absolutely.
That's where I get my Tim Hortons from 2A.
River Street.
Yeah, on River Street.
River Street.
yeah.
You used to live on a River Street.
I used to work there too.
Yeah, I did there. The River Street.
Well, I used to live in Current River area.
Yeah.
Shout
Oh,
out
okay.
Current River.
Yeah.
Shout out. Yeah.
Yeah, little ecosystem there.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, I'm not
Boulevard
touching
Lake.
that. I don't get beat up. I'm not saying nothing about.
I got a lot of friends in Current River.
I'm not saying
so-
nothing about Current River.
Yeah, I got a lot of friends in
A
Current
couple
River.
cousins. I think my
Very,
aunt
very
owns a house
quiet
out there. Yeah, Current River. Current
Every-
River used to be real rough.
I was gonna
It's
say-
still kind of rough place, but
I got a lot of friends over there, and we always get into the debate of which one's Shelbyville and which one's Springfield.
that's pretty easy. They're Shelbyville.
Yeah,
100%.
yeah. I say the same thing.
Like Current River is still, it's a lot better, but like when I was young, going to Current River, like if you're gonna go party or go drink or however, whatever, like it was like, it's like, okay, we're showing up together, don't separate.
Yeah.
Like don't, you know what I mean? If a girl separates, let us know that you left so we know where you are. Because if you did, it'd be like, you'd like, why did you guys leave? I got jumped by like 10 guys.
Yeah, it's like in the Warriors when you're traveling across all those different neighborhoods and like you're like going to Current River, you're like everyone stay together.
Yeah. It's so specific to Thunder Bay. That's where, for anyone who's wondering, we're in Thunder Bay, Ontario. It's in Canada. It's a border city by Minneapolis. And it's Thunder Bay culture is like the oddest. It's the truth though. Like Current River was
There's
one
so
of
much
them.
neighborhood pride. I love it. Like even East End, East
Well,
End,
okay,
they have the most pride.
let's get ghetto ass. I like to get ghetto ass every show. I like to talk about my city, talk trash. So Academy is another neighborhood. I like that. Like fucking, if you go party there late night, like,
Oh, yeah,
pair up.
I like
Yeah.
that.
Fucking pair up.
yeah, for
It's
sure.
like we learned that in elementary school. Like fucking,
Facts.
you know, you're okay. Who's your partner? And if you go to Academy, I'm sorry, Academy people, but it's the fucking truth. And not everywhere. There's like beautiful families there and stuff, but it's like, yeah, if you go late night, like pair up.
Yeah,
pair up
totally.
there.
What's another neighborhood?
I was gonna say honestly, like if you're just walking around at night, it's definitely smart to pair up. You know what I
No,
mean?
but
Yeah, it is
name me
very,
another.
very smart.
This is the trash talking part of our city. This is what's another?
Picton is
Picton,
one of the
Picton,
places.
yeah,
one.
good old Picton.
Yeah, good old Picton. You'll probably get robbed or get pushed by a random person.
Yeah,
Dude,
mostly friendly
I
there,
was gonna
but
say,
sometimes,
yeah,
yeah,
sometimes,
sometimes.
yeah.
Literally, like that Dylon, like that rapper from before, he was like riding his bike on Picton and he ended up getting assaulted from behind and stuff like that.
Oh, yeah.
Like literally, yeah. So it's like there's definitely like, yeah, it's just important to travel with people and be mindful. I feel like because it's just, yeah, having somebody there.
Or just wear all black and be ninja, you know?
Yeah, that's the
Yeah.
wave too. That's the wave too. And
Just when you're there, just be like, hey chum, Just say, hey, make sure you know that phrase, hey, chum.
Ever since I started using "Hey Chum," it's funny because sometimes I'll get people that are like "Chum," like question mark, and then they'll send me a picture of the chum bucket from SpongeBob, and I'm like,
God, no.
I'm like, no, like it's chum, his friend, like
Chum is a 1850 word for your chum. Hey, chum, that's my chum.
almost goes as far back as chucking it up, eh?
Yeah, chucking it up. Dylan, if you're out there, make sure you know that phrase, hey, chum. Carry around a pack of smokes and give smokes out. You'll be good. You'll be good. That's how you always calm down people in the city. Just open up a pack of smokes. Just throw them behind you and run. Especially if you're Dylan. Shout out Dylan.
There's like, yeah, I was going to say when I used to because I used to run around a lot at nighttime and like I never had an issue from when I was like 16 to 22 or when I was like 16 to 19. But then the more that I grew up and stuff like that, it's kind of like the sentiments around being out late at night. I feel like they're different now, and I feel like that whole environment has changed a little bit. Where kind of like, like it's just like I wouldn't for me nowadays, like I wouldn't be running around with a backpack on with a bunch of cans of paint in it anymore or anything like that. But that's just me. It's just because I'd be afraid that you know what I mean? Like if anything were to happen to me and I was alone, that I'd be stranded. Pretty much. So it's just the importance of having that buddy system in place is huge because there have been
it's a good smart
there have been incidences for real on that I've heard about where it's people have gone out tagging and they actually don't return. So it's that's the other reality of it too. So it's there's be safe out there, everybody.
Watch your ass. Be safe.
For real. And it doesn't matter the neighborhood or what have you.
Thunder Bay's always been a rough city. Like when I was growing up here, you stay away from rivers, stay away from people you don't know.
Yeah.
It's always been kind of like that. I kind of like it, but I kind of hate it too because there's consequences to
love and hate city for me.
What's that?
It's a love and hate city for me.
Yeah, I mean, if you stick with good people, you're good. But if you go places that our city and it's kind of like the 90s rap gangster culture. It's just you don't know who you're fucking with. If you're going out partying, make sure you know, don't get caught up, don't talk smack, because this city ain't a city you talk smack in because you get dealt with.
I've literally talked to people about that I've been with that are new into certain situations, at hip-hop shows particularly. I'm respectful to everybody. I'm what I mean? Because you just never know.
I find you guys so peaceful these days. Hip-hop culture used to get your ass beat up. If you're listening to different music, go to different crowds and stuff. You guys are so peaceful now. You guys are really hey man, you did a good set. Here, let me buy you a drink. Like that. You played sets back in the day, and you'd be like, fuck Muhammad Escrow. You know what I mean? You'd be on the other side of the room, fuck that crew, hit and run. And it was just how it was. It was just because you weren't part of it. And then you get older and you're like, oh, hey, Mom, you're actually a cool guy. I always respect your shit. But that's just how it was. And I just said Muhammad because if he ever watches, I think that'd be funny for him to be like, wait, what? Yeah, you can be. But
shout out Muhammad.
Shout out Escrow season 2012. But that's
no, totally.
I think it's so peaceful now. I think hip hop culture is actually the peaceful part of the city, and it's causing peace, and it's actually gang culture that's I don't think it's hip hop.
Yeah,
it's gang culture, and
agree.
It's because the hip hop kids are peaceful, kind of more creative and supportive. Yeah,
and that's the thing is really it's how many people are making music just to get out of that lifestyle or get out of that influence through you know what I mean, whatever they're experiencing and stuff. So it's while on the one hand it's hip hop is used as storytelling and poetry and people expressing themselves and stuff. There's a lot of people who just they recognize that there's plights that are around them and they're okay, how do I work towards rising above this and getting out. And that's what I think is you know what I mean, cool. A beautiful thing about a lot of people in this city that are creating.
And so I think on that note, on a beautiful thing, I think we'll do one more sponsorship shout out, then we get the hell out of here. We're looking for sponsors, Info Day Media, throw me an email. We're looking for free pizza, we're looking for clothing, pair of socks, anything. we could put a pair of socks over our microphones, for instance, with your logo on it. We'll do anything. We'll do anything for money. We're desperate. We're desperate. Here on the show, we spent all my rent money on these mics. I don't know what I'm going to do. The light here, you see, it's going to die soon.
It's a repurposed detective light.
It's repurposed detective light. My cat's sick. Anything I need.
Where'd you get your shirt? I like your shirt.
My Uriel Lubeck of
Uriel made that?
Yeah, Uriel made it as my birthday present.
That's awesome.
So shout out Uriel. Can't remember your t-shirt company's name.
Shout out Kenny the cat.
Yeah, shout out. Yeah. Shout out everything. Uriel got
Yeah.
Caught me off guard. I don't remember his.
No, that's
his
beautiful.
company, but
Nice.
but he made indigenous
What
creature.
kind of bird is that? Indigenous creature. Nice.
Red. Is that your spirit name? Red Hawk Tail Feather.
Red hawk tail feather. Yeah, I think it's red. It's a red hawk. Yeah,
I
I
like
think
it.
Uriel's cool like that. He'll remember stuff, and so yeah.
I was gonna say
my actual native name is Red Hawk Tailfeather, which I'll tell the story on one of these shows. I'll tell the story. It's a funny story, and but actually that's my true native name is Red Hawk Tailfeather. And I'm Eagle Clan, and I won't list my colors though because that's not relevant to right now. But yeah, well, thanks for ending it on a beautiful note. Ending it on gift. You have any last words or shout out to anything before we sign off here?
Oh my gosh! Thank you for having me here, and
It's fun. It was fun having you, man.
It's fun talking to you guys and listening to you guys, and
And you said that he was sitting over and he says, "Is this weird that I'm not nervous?" I've never heard that before. You were just like, "Yeah, I'm cool." And I said that's a good thing.
Yeah, it's just a conversation with the boys.
Because I said this is all made up. Like this is all made up. The lighting and the mics and stuff.
There's no scripts here, so
there's no scripts. It is what it is. Where it goes, it goes.
Yeah.
So I was like, yeah, it's good to not be nervous. Most people are nervous, and I'm like, don't be nervous. Oh, excuse me, don't be nervous. This is made up.
For anyone who wants to follow you and keep up with you, where can they?
They can find you. They can follow me at the TikTok or Facebook or Instagram.
Under Leslie Spence.
Under it's only Leslie.
It's only Leslie.
Yeah, it's only Leslie.
You heard it
only
here.
Leslie.
You heard it here. I had the camera on me the whole time. I'll put it the other way. So while he was saying all that, it was me going, so where is it at?
What?
Yeah,
Where you at, man?
Yeah, where can we find you?
You can find me at Facebook, TikTok, or Instagram.
It's only Leslie.
only Leslie.
All one word. It's only
It's
Leslie.
only Leslie,
No
yeah.
apostrophe.
No
It's
apostrophe.
yeah. Okay.
It's only,
only Leslie.
It's only Leslie.
And Brandon, for not necessarily for your artwork and poetry, but for social media and music, because you are a recording artist, where can we find you?
Yeah, so Be The Wiz on Facebook, Be The Wizard on Instagram, Be_the_Wiz on TikTok, because I don't
That's a
have
horrible
I
name.
know. I was gonna say I don't have any synchronicity within my brand.
Can you just get Be The Wiz all one word?
No, I couldn't on TikTok.
Like who
I know
has that name?
I know, dude. Trust me. There's a couple of them that are out there.
Be The Wiz?
You wanna know something funny? There's a Be The Wiz in California, actually.
What?
Yeah, and it's Ontario, California, too. So I've literally had people that have tagged me instead of him when they mean to tag him, and then I always reach out to them. I'm like, hey, thanks for the tag, but that's not me.
Oh my god! Maybe you should change it to Be Wise.
No, we don't do that because I'm cemented that I'm going to have this for longer than that guy, and it's my name.
I mean,
I want to claim it.
I mean, Plan B The Wiz. But on that note, we're gonna end it. So.
I love it.
But yeah, on that note, we're gonna end it. Thanks for being our guest today. We had a lot of fun with you.
problem, yeah.
We'll have you on again, hopefully soon.
whenever,
whenever.
whenever.
Okay, glad you enjoyed it. I'm glad you enjoyed it, Brandon. I know you have to leave at 6, so wrapping up for you. I'm gonna go watch the Maple Leafs kick some Panthers ass, and that's gonna be my night. So for everybody, get at us for sponsorship. We look forward to getting some money. We need money. We're desperate. We're desperate.
Being honest, being real.
But just being real. Like
My
pizza.
cat needs surgery.
My cat needs surgery. His guinea pigs. His pigs are sick.
Yeah, we need to pay for the
His
cremation.
pigs are sick. But here's the thing: if you give money to the podcast, the pigs are not getting any of it. I'm just going to be honest. We're use the pigs to get money, but we're taking all the money for the podcast because Daddy wants some new shoes.
Yep.
But so on that note, thanks for having us, and thanks for being on. And
Happy to have you, Tony.
yeah, we're gonna sign off. All right.
Later.